folks. Hey, folks. Hello. This is your buddy Mike Messier. So last night I saw the movie Past Lives. Should you go see this movie? Should you not? I think so. I mean, I think for most normal human beings, or even you, you'd probably like the movie. I thought it was enjoyable. If you like things, I mean, really different style, but if you like things like Sleepless in Seattle and kind of movies like that, romantic movies that are kind of not romantic, if that makes any sense. Oh, the whimsy of life. Oh, the whimsy of love. I think you'd enjoy this movie. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not a big New York City guy. New York City takes a big part of this movie. A big part of this movie is set in New York City, is what I'm trying to say. But basically, I thought the movie was good, enjoyable. What's it all about, Mike? Please tell us. Basically, you're in the late 1990s. You're in Korea. And we're with these two Korean children. They're 12 years old. They're schoolmates, and they kind of have, they're a boy and a girl, and they have a little crush on each other and so forth. And then the girl's family decides that, for career possibilities, the girl's family is going to move from Korea to the good old US of A. And they're going to, give up everything that they've established at home in Korea, which doesn't really seem to be that bad of a life, and go over to the United States. And restart. And, at that time, and probably still now, you can't just go back and forth. I mean, you kind of have to decide what you're going to do. So they decide to immigrate to the United States. The children, the young girl, Nora becomes her English name, although that's not her birth name. But basically, she and her little sister are kind of trepidatious about this whole thing. They're going to have to learn to speak fluent English. They're going to give up all their childhood friends and everything to go to this brand new world of the US of A. And the little boy, the 12-year-old boy, is left behind, with his family and just his life. And, I don't know if this is true. I mean, this is the type of thing that we've been seeing in film and pop culture, as they say, for years here in the USA, that in a place, countries like Korea, although I've never been to Korea, I can't speak as a Korean person, but you're kind of stilted, you're kind of put into this box of what you can do with your life, and that's what they would give us the impression here in the USA that these people are going through. And I don't know if that's true or not. I suspect that it is, but I don't have that guaranteed. So if anyone from Korea or anyone who ever lived in Korea can write a comment and inform me, I will read the comment. But basically, the young girl, Nora, and her family go over to the USA. She becomes fairly successful in writing. She goes to artist residence and so forth. And 12 years later, when she's about 24, pop, here's this magical thing. We're in the 2012 era in the movie. The movie takes place in 3 or 4 different time, spots in the world of the movie. And basically in 2012, she gets a Facebook notification that her old, 12-year-old, school chum has made a comment on her father's Facebook page looking for Nora, the daughter. She reaches out to him, sends him the old school Facebook request, where it was a little more formal back then in the early Facebook days. They connect on Facebook. They start Skyping. They start doing all the wonderful, 2012 interactive social media. I found my old friend routines. And they kind of have this pseudo long distance romance of sorts, and I think a lot of people can relate to this stuff if you're, living through the computer like I am right now. If you're kind of communicating with people through the computer, it's kind of an intimacy, but a distance at the same time, a false intimacy. And they're both attractive people, and there's some chemistry there, obviously, but they're both so single-minded on their careers, her as a writer and him as a whatever, that they're not really able to meet in person. And so finally, they're making such a point of always checking in with each other on the fucking Zooms and the Skypes and the phone calls. Maybe it wasn't even Zoom back then, but you can get my point. They're always like checking in on each other on the computer. But Nora has that feeling that she needs to be fulfilled. She needs to be touched by a human being. And she kind of makes a play to this guy like, hey, when can you come to New York to see me? And he kind of drops the ball, in my opinion. He's like, not for another year and a half. And, for a young woman in her 20s, you can't keep her on the shelf that long. I mean, she's an attractive woman. She's not going to dry up and get cobwebs in her. So she's going to go out and get her groove on. So she says, hey, look, I think we should take a break from each other. I'm trying to concentrate on my career, and I can't be looking at, tickets to Seoul, Seoul, Korea all the time. And basically this is where, I think as men, you probably look back in your life and you see a lot of opportunities that you fucked up on, that you missed out on. And this was his moment to really stand up and kind of be a romantic guy and say, well, God damn it, I will forego my education or whatever the fuck to come see you in New York City. Let's make this thing happen. Let's make this thing work. But I think the point of this, this part of the movie, which maybe was my favorite part, where they're reconnecting in 2012 through the internet, is that people always want someone else to revolve around them. They always, the guy, he wants her to come to him wherever he's going. She wants him to come to her. Neither one of them wants to kind of give up their opportunities or put their agenda on hold for the other, but they're expecting the other one to do that for them. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, how much do you care? It's a battle of who can care less. So she basically says, hey, let's take a break from this communication. I need to concentrate on my work. And basically what I interpreted that was she's saying, hey, make your stand, make your romantic, flag in the ground now, or let's not do this, shit or get off the pot, so to speak. And he does not shit. So she goes to this writers community, this artist residency thing, so pretentious. I've applied to those many times, have not gotten accepted. But she goes to this writers retreat thing, where lo and behold, she meets the white man. She meets the Jewish guy. I just mentioned that because that becomes a thing in the movie to an extent. She meets this kind of nebbish, nice guy. They connect on a certain level. And then lo and behold, they become an item and they get married. And in the meantime, our buddy there, the Korean guy, Hae Sung, he meets a very I wish we kind of met this character a little bit more, but he gets this beautiful girlfriend over in Asia, and they have a long-term relationship. And then flash forward another 12 years, Hae Sung and that beautiful woman who we never really get to hear speak. We only see her briefly outside of a restaurant. They have broken up, and he decides, although Nora is now married to the writer, he is going to come to New York City and visit the girl from his childhood, the girl that he kind of had this online thing with for a while. He's going to check in on her, even though she's married and moved on and so forth. And they're going to see what happens. And so this kind of puts everything in an interesting paradigm. Of course, you have the two characters, but then you have this, the third wheel, so to speak, the husband, who's trying to be a good sport about this thing. But here it is, his beautiful wife, that he already has these feelings that he doesn't deserve her at all in the first place. She's going to be seeing her ex and so forth. So it's like, wow, very exciting, very dramatic. And he does a good job. I think really a strong performance. I guess the guy's name is John Magaro as the husband, the Jewish husband, the vulnerable Jewish husband, who is afraid that his wife is going to leave him for his childhood love, or at least, sleep with them. That's what I would be afraid of. Not that she would leave me, but that she would just, get romped in the bedroom a few times and then pretend that nothing happened. But luckily for him and for us, that doesn't happen. She never crosses the line. She's a good girl. She does not, pull a creep with her ex-guy. They're very funny. She's very attractive, actually, the actress, Greta Lee, I believe is her name. And she has a funny scene where she's basically saying, well, he's so Korean, he makes me feel less Korean, but sometimes he makes me feel more Korean. That's in that scene. So overall, I say go see this movie. It was good. One Man in a Camera Films to watch my movies, okay? The Nature of the Flame. One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan, if you're a pro wrestling and sports fan, and watch this channel, One Mike Messier, for more more of Mike's Instant Movie Reviews and my art and all my other crap. Okay, goodbye.